everything. However, the proprietary cable will give you more control. Proprietary cable will speed it up. It allows me to, there's an M up, so I'm actually going to pop up my mirror. So mirror lockup, it's going to pop the mirror up, take the shot, lower the mirror, pop the mirror up, take the shot. So that will get rid of all shake. No matter what, the camera is not moving at all. Okay? I'm going to do it first with the mirror lockup off. So everyone can see how fast it'll do it. And then I'm going to do it with the mirror lockup or on, so you can see the difference. Okay? So this is 13 exposures. And it'll put a little song at the end to let you know it's done. So that's 13 exposures, and if you want to look, if you want to come close, you can see on the photo with the histogram. Right now, the last shot is all the way to the right, so it's mostly highlights. And as I go to the left, you'll see it get darker, and the histogram's going towards the left. Gives you the full range. Okay. 13 exposures. 3, 5, 7, or 9 are what most people do. If you do need more detail in the shot, you can do more. It's not necessary, really.
Yeah, there's no minimum. I mean, there's no maximum.
There's no maximum. There is a maximum with the software. I did a test with Photomatics, which is the most popular software. It's HDR Soft, the brand. Photomatics is the software. And they have a beta 4 is out now. And I tried it, and 27 exposures, it kept crashing. And I got a pretty fast machine, and it was still crashing. It took me 5 attempts before it actually did it. No, it's not the same. Merging is not the same as merging to HDR. The full Photoshop HDR is still not as good as the other.
Yeah, and then they showed up again.
How to do it, yeah.
I would guess if you're doing that many separate shots, you're probably not using more stop mode on each one. You're kind of narrowing down.
It depends on what you're going for. Here, I don't need that much detail because there's already a lot of texture in the cement and whatnot. But if I'm doing an interior, I'm going to want more detail than I'm seeing. So it'll capture a lot more. The other software which I really like is the shirt that I just gave to the guy is HDR Photo Studio 2, which has just been discontinued, and they're coming out with a new one called HDR Exposed. I did the same 27 exposures that kept crashing Photomatics, and it came out no problem.
My favorite part about it.
Almost like perfectly realistic. I didn't have to do much to it at all, and it came out incredible in that software. So I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna do it with mirror lockup on, so you can see the difference and how much longer it takes to do it.
Do you always have to have it in mirror lockup to do it?
No. If it's really windy, you want mirror lockup. You're still gonna have a little bit. So it's a little bit slower, but there's no chance of any shake whatsoever right now.
That game was so awesome. Go get him. Yeah, the slammers and some that fucking shake. Yeah.
It's done. Are there any questions for me? Any questions about HDR in general?
Then after you take all the shots and you do all the post-production stuff, so you load it up into Photomatics?
Yeah, my workflow is I import straight to Lightroom. I back up everything right away. Photomatics and Photo Studio 2 both have Lightroom plugins, so I can just export my setup brackets to whichever software, make the HDR, bring it back to Lightroom, which it does automatically once you save it, and then either bring it to Photoshop or wherever to do my final post-processing. It never ends at Photomatics or whatever HDR software you use. You have to bring it to Photoshop, do your final tweaks. The image is never perfect after the HDR software. Some things to look out for. People. If people walk in your frame, they will be a really cool ghost that will destroy your photo.
I saw someone do that. They were walking around the frame and made
It can flatter the photo, it could really harm the photo. It really depends on the scene and on how slow the person's walking and etc. So, people, some photographers say to avoid the sun, some say they love the sun. It's all a matter of taste and a matter of if you know how to what post-processing to do in Photoshop afterwards to fix
Still does work.
gross clouds. You can do single shot HDR, but they're definitely not as good as, you could take one raw photo, open it in Photomatics, and it'll do a pseudo HDR.
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's some plugins, like Topaz Labs has plugins called, a set of plugins called Topaz Adjust. And it's a Lightroom and Photoshop and Aperture plugin, which,
Photoshop though, right?
yes, not Element.
Actually, it does work in Elements. Yep, Topaz, all the Topaz apps work in plugins. There you go. That's how I got. That's why I just got into that one myself.
Yeah, I think it's like Topaz.
So they create a pseudo HDR as well.
Yeah.
Of course, better with raw files. You have more control. And if anyone is interested in any of the software that we're mentioning, I do have a lot of discounts. A lot of discounts on my website.
Yeah.
So I will give everyone this card and whatnot.
Do you think that you can show
It's a program that you can use without it. It's a fabric
Yes.
site.
Could you show without the remote control? Without the remote control?
Yes.
So they have the habit.
It's really not much different.
Right.
It's just a matter of holding the button down versus
Yeah.
not.
I mean, have the remote control. See how it is without it.
If I did it right, that's what I just did. I just used the bracket. Bracketing function.
Okay. So it'll be the same deal.
And you set it up, you're setting it up in the
With the remote control, your camera's on manual. It takes complete control over your camera. Yep. The only thing you have to do is get your main exposure. With the regular remote, aperture priority. And just
Count away, yeah?
that's it. Except it's got my bracketing on.
Yeah, they don't make any sense. And all those shots there are metered?
Yeah.
The bracketed?
So I can just do it again. And it'll stop when it's done.
Do you try to do exposure lock or anything? I mean, I was experimenting at one point of stitching pictures. Here you're very concerned you want them all to be mostly the same settings except for what you're trying to do.
I've never messed with like the panoramic HDR. It's not really my thing, I guess. But
Well, no, I just mean so as you worry about, I mean, if you put an auto white balance, something might happen and change white balance in the middle and that kind of stuff.
if you're going to be doing, especially if you're going to be doing stitching, you have to white balance. If anything changes, then it'll ruin it.
Do you find that with HDR at all, or do you not really? I guess they're all so fast, you're not doing the resetting.
I'm not usually worried about it. I do white balance, but I'm not very concerned about it.
So it's click on auto, you white balance.
Right now I'm on auto. If I was doing this for a real estate agent, I would white balance. Because you're talking in someone's house, they could have light, all different sources. So there I would, without a doubt, I'm going to white balance. But out here, I'm not even going to bother. Especially with the newer cameras, they're so precise. Any questions?